The song All Rise. The song All Rise. Both. In the last video, I talked about Soul for Sale. Now, Soul for Sale was produced by Logic Proof around the time that Posers was made. So we're going back, sheesh, 10 years ago? Possibly more, I don't know, but I would say it's definitely 10 years ago. So he made Soul for Sale. Soul for Sale was a different version from the beat All Rise. It was the same sample, he just flipped them differently. So on the album, or just, made two beats out of the same sample or whatever. So on the album, I have the Soul for Sale, and then it's going to follow up with All Rise. Interesting thing about All Rise. Another song that was not written. I mean, most of my stuff is not written, right? From a certain period of time, everything has been not written. From the most technical stuff to the just more loose, not written. But there's two kinds of not writing. There's what Icon phrased as head writing. I think that's a good way to explain it. Like you're just writing in your head. There's the freestyle. There's the on the spot. If you go to the, specifically, the song Look Mom No Pen on the Shrink the Numbers album, that's on the spot. And you'll feel the looseness of it. You're going to see many riding the beat with a certain looseness that you normally don't seem to get from him. Why? Because it's freestyle. It's on the spot. You understand? I'm saying stuff, for that reason, I can't even reach ID anymore. I can't hit him on the phone and bitch him on about how I be spitting poems at King of Kings. I should be sitting on the throne instead of working and slaving, hurting, complaining to promoters. I'm doping and everybody they're booking. Oh, you put me on the fly, good looking, you fucking idiot. You finally figured out on your many years, ridiculous. This is not me writing. If I'm writing and really trying to do some shit, it would have been far more technical. It probably wouldn't have had that looseness and that fun vibe to it and all of that, blah, 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 blah. That whole song is on the spot. What am I going to come up with? What am I going to come up with? What do I come up with? Jassoon style, basically. You have to watch the Jassoon video to understand what I'm talking about. Then, so there's three forms, actually. There's three forms of not writing. There's the head writing, where it's the same process of writing without a pen. It's really just a memorization thing. Because when you write with a pen and a paper, you have the line, you write it down. Now, maybe some of you are there looking at the sentence, you're looking at the words, and you're thinking, okay, what can I, what can I think of that'll rhyme with this, blah, 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 blah. Maybe you write like that. For me, it would be like, my process is this. I have a thought. Finding a word to rhyme with it is not that difficult. If I'm taking time to think about something something that takes effort, it's probably a metaphor or a punchline. But the memory for me is the page. You understand? So I don't think, I think and the word inks. Okay? I think and the word inks. There's ink in the word think. So I think and the word inks. It inks itself onto the memory as if the thought, the mind is the pen, the thought is the ink, the memory is the page. That's head writing. Then there's the freestyle. Little to no effort. You don't even know what's going to come out of your mouth next. Then there's the there's the take a little bit a time to think about what you're going to say. Seconds, maybe a minute in between lines. You know what I'm saying? But then there's something very special that can happen. This is what I call the activation phase. And the activation phase is when now you have tapped into, you have the flow state. This is what many artists may refer to as going off, getting open, in the zone. He left Earth, blacked out, this kind of thing. I call it the activation phase because something has activated that normally does not activate in rapping or whatever your art form is, that you are now functioning on a higher level. I talked about the time where the mind will construct a full rhyme in your sleep, right? Which lends way to the theory that we're not accessing the full potential of our mind or our conscious. It can function at a higher level than we tend to have access to. But in the activation phase, we have seemed to break through some kind of mold and something has opened. Comparable to like using a higher percentage of your brain. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I bet you if there was a brain scan, you might see some activity in areas that are normally not active. This is the activation phase. If you look at Savage from the Born Again Sinner album, this is another one, not written. Now in the beginning, I take a little bit of time to think about what I'm going to say. Not much. The beginning of the verse is, it's about, I'm making the comparison that, I'm running with the whole I'm an animal theme. You know what I'm saying? So, mechanical gorilla. I pick up my feces and I throw it at you. Do not provoke the monkey, stay clear the baboon. And I'm going in and out with it, right? I'm just punching, because I'm thinking second by second. Do not provoke the monkey, stay clear the baboon. Make one false move and he will attack you. Antagonize the animal and he will detach you. Walking on all fours, he's wobbling at you. Just pretty standard, nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying? But as I keep going, I'm starting to get into it. So now it comes to a point where it's like, inherit your wondrous toys, hold the watch to the sky and jump for joy. I know not what it do, but it's making noise. I do not understand this, still it brings me joy because it's mine. Yeah, right? So now you see the animal mentality. I do not... happy, caveman, barbarian fucking mindset. Happy to have the shiny object. Now, I'm starting to get open, right? From this point on, there is no more thinking. Monster.
Club you in the face, inherit your wondrous toys, hold the watch to the sky and jump for joy. I know not what it do, but it's making noise. I do not understand this, still it brings me joy because it's mine. Monster, conquer like a rocker. Drop a guitar to the face of all imposters. No pose, a flow over the opposed and float over the probing over the ocean flow. Composing, long flowing robe glowing, knowing only he knows he's all knowing. Lo and behold, he told the omen bestowed upon the mind and upon unknowing. Sun shining, darkness come blinding. Mount ignorant, good time to start climbing.